Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a book review on The Frozen River. That's the title of the book. The author is Ariel Lawhon, L-A-W-H-O-N. And I'll just read you the overview to begin with. The Frozen River is a richly detailed historical mystery set in 1789 Maine, inspired by the real-life diary of Martha Ballard, a highly skilled midwife and healer. When a body is discovered frozen in the Kennebec River, a man long accused of a brutal attack, Martha finds herself in the center of a controversial investigation, challenging a legal system stacked against women. And you can just imagine back in the 1700s that women didn't really have any rights at all. To begin with, it took me a long time to get into the book, to be honest with you. My sister recommended it, and I'm sure it was a good 100 pages before I developed an interest in the characters and the plot. I found that part disheartening, really. If it hadn't been for the fact that my sister recommended the book, I probably would have not continued on. And the strange part about that is the same author, Ariel Lawhon, wrote, and I read a novel called Code Hélène. And it was about, that book was very interesting, caught my interest right from the beginning. So, you know, same author, but different in her approach to this book, in my view. So I made some notes here. Martha is a midwife, and she has, I don't know, 7 children, her and her husband. And she lives in this town of Hollowell. I don't know if it's fictional or not. I didn't look it up on a map, which is right on a river. And she's called to deliver babies and also to help when people are not feeling well. She mixes up tonics that help them recover. And she herself is an interesting character. She arrives at a place where 2 men were dragged out of the river. One survived and one did not. And the one that died, she declared it to be a homicide because he had a rope burns around his neck, and multiple other injuries too. So the story centers really on discovering who was responsible for the murder of this man. And throughout the book, women, of course, back in the day, they didn't work per se. They helped out at home, made meals, clothing, anything that was needed around their own home. If they got pregnant before they were married, that broke the law back then. So there's different women who are actually brought to court because they were pregnant out of wedlock. Certainly not like it is today. And one of the women in the town has been raped. And apparently it's quite a common thing. And the men are fined if they even admit to it. So part of the mystery in this book also is that the man who is responsible for the rape of another woman is a judge. So that presents difficulties in itself. And of course he denies that he took part in this. And she ends up pregnant. So Martha was given a journal well, a book that she made into a journal by her husband right at the beginning of their marriage. And every day she writes in her journal what transpired. And so this journal is a reflection of her life through all the ups and downs, through children, and some children of hers did not survive, just because of the illnesses, the flus and whatnot that were going around at that time. And it helps support her when she has to go to court to testify on behalf of the woman that was raped, because there were no witnesses per se, but Martha took care of the woman that was raped immediately after she was raped and saw the damage to this woman's body. So she had to testify that in court, and she brought her journal along to substantiate her claim of the condition of this particular woman. The book also describes the harsh winter conditions that they all experienced in Maine in the 1700s. And their mode of transportation was horseback or walking. So it was sometimes very dangerous for her to be going out to help deliver babies in the harsh conditions of the winter. And the book provides a lot of details in that respect. Overall, I think I would give this book a 3 out of 5. And for me, it was because it's slow paced. Once I got into the book and, became involved in the characters' lives, it became more interesting to me. But I would have preferred a faster pace. So it is interesting if you are a fan of historical fiction, and if you enjoy or are interested in women's history and early life, but not ideal if you like a fast-paced thriller and more I'd say just if you liked more of a fast-paced thriller. If you like more of a having trouble getting this in. If you like more of a fast-paced thriller. Otherwise, it's a pretty good book.